Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper Survival Land. I'm going to move that down a little bit. There we go. I should, hopefully, yeah, shouldn't cut off too much of me, but it should still be visible enough. I guess we're cutting off the snake tonight, but you know, whatever. We are here with our Bob Ross MS Paint along. We got my MS Paint canvas going on over here. I think last time we had a slight issue with sizing, so I guess I should try to make it a little squarer, but also, whatever. Just gonna roll with it. So hey Ramen, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. And I decided to start with one I'd heard of beforehand, which is
mankind knew that they cannot change society.
If I recall correctly, the story goes, somebody wrote him a letter that's like, hey, I'm colorblind, can I still paint? And he was like, yes, let's do an entire painting with just black and white to prove it. So I wanted to try that one out. So yeah.
Here we are, ready to go again.
It is one of his older ones, so maybe a little.
I was doing a demonstration in a mall, and I
had
a man come to me and he said, "Bob, I can never paint because I'm colorblind. All I can see is gray tones." So I thought today we'd do a picture in gray just to show you that anyone can paint. So what I've done here, I've mixed up a great big batch of blue and brown. Probably
it might, yeah, it depends on how long the game is.
2/3 brown to give you a rough idea of what the mixture is here. And all we'll use is this gray color and white. I have the other colors on my palette.
Oh, did you say it was a brown tone?
I've mixed up a great big batch of blue and brown. Probably about 1/3 blue to 2/3 brown to give you a rough idea of what the mixture is here.
It's still a gray, but it's not black gray.
I have the other colors on my palette only because I was too lazy to clean my palette before we started this.
Also, his thoughts, how's it going?
Magic white to the canvas to help speed things
Welcome
up
to Viperland in the chat. And
let's take the almighty brush here.
All right,
we'll take a little bit of this gray color out, beat it into the bristles. Really
to see what color we're starting with.
And let's start with an almighty sky here. Just let it work around and play, and great big things happen.
Already going to start with the that's tough to do. And also, Emily, how's it going as well? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Oh, excuse me. All right, so I think our best bet, this is just going to be testing, not quite. I don't remember how all the brushes work all the time. It's the same hecking brush. Almost. Is crayon going to actually be okay for this? Is crayon going to be the one we're going with? Do you know what? It's going to be, I feel like we're going to do a lot of spray can. I feel like that's going to be our solution to a lot of issues. We're also going to have to start setting some custom colors. So he went with a brownish bluish, which to me says it's going to be a gray tone, like yay. Because brownish is a bit maybe it's a bit closer to here. Maybe that's a little too purple. Still a little purple, but I feel like that's a decent grayscale there. Alright. You're supposed to save that game. I call it a game. Oh, add to custom colors, that's why. Whoops. Alright, let me do that again real quick then. So let's say we're gonna go about... Gotta find one that doesn't look too... Yeah, that looks pretty good. So do a dark... lighter. They look the same on the custom palette. Lighter. We're going to be using this. I want to at least keep it consistent instead of being like, whoops, I screwed it up.
Taru?
Oh, I didn't add the new Tarus yet. One of them is very, very quiet. I'll see if I can boost it up, but I haven't touched it yet. Oh, let me move this over so I can see chat a little better. There you go. Yeah, it's true. You're not wrong. They were very strong positive influences on the world. And I guess we'll just have white up there, even though I'm sure we already got that. So is there a reason those custom colors weren't going to be going down here, where I want them to be? Yeah, that'll work. Feel like we went a little heavy on the darker tones, but this should at least give us some to play around with. I gotta check and see if I added that potions one, because I'm now doubting myself. Because I swear I did, but it should have come up by now. It should have. Alright, so.
Here, just let it fall out of your brush. Keep that brush moving. Circular patterns.
Circular patterns.
Just let it play.
Some gray up at the top. I'm going to say we're at about a yay on the color scale. I don't know if spray paint's going to be our best option. Oh, that's way too much of an arc. But hey, you know, let's get some areas a little darker, some areas a little lighter. You know, just the moving it about. There you go. That's a gray cloud, I'd say. It's got a little bit of depth to it. I guess, do you know what? Hold on. I'm going to put up some really quiet background music. Probably just generic 14 soundtrack, but I'm going to put it quiet. I just, hold on, let me turn off the song request thing. It's just, because we'll have plenty of bits where, like, it's muted, because we're, just doing, there it is. We'll do this. Hold on, it's going to be loud to start. We'll cut it down. There we go. Just something playing so it's not nothing. Should be about good. Maybe I didn't add the file and I thought I did, but I swear I did. Hold on. Once we're a little further in painting, I'll check. I don't want to spend too much time dawdling at the beginning of it. Also, hey, 7,000 going. Do you know what? Fine, screw it. I'll check. I swear I put it there, though. Desktop. Fighting gold! Hey, well, hot damn, Chuck. That's 38 heckin' months indeed. Holy moly, Chuck! Thank you so much for the resubscription.
38 heckin' months. Less than 3. 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 Less than 3.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna play the file. Make sure it's the right one.
Oh, hey, it's hot garbage.
Ah, I put the wrong one in there. But it's still there. Hold on. I thought it was the one that we had for uniques. Hold on. But I did put the wrong one in there. But it still hasn't played yet. Now, which one is it? Is it this one?
Hey, master.
No, that's not it.
Taru.
It is.
That
I
means barrel.
swear I copied that exact file. Alright, well, hold on. Yoink. Copy here. Oh, it's because I had the 3 underscore unique.
Hey,
That's
master.
why. I did put that
I
on.
am mad scientist. It's so cool. Son of a bitch.
There we go. Alright, it is definitely in the barrel folder, so it is truly bad RNG. Leave the trash one in. You know what? I just closed both folders. I'll do it later. I need to actually do some painting, but later. But thank you. Obviously, Chuck went back to... Oh, did it? I wasn't... That's awesome. I'm glad. It's just been doing 3, 3, 3, 3 for so long. It's nice to have it actually, you know, read it the way it's supposed to. Alright, so background music shouldn't be too loud. It actually might be too quiet, but, you know, that's life. I don't want it to drown out Bob either.
Taru. That means barrel.
That's absolutely drowning out Bob. He's very quiet in this video.
There we go. Just let that work.
It does happen.
We'll have a light source right in here. We'll have some light coming through there.
Alright.
Maybe we'll do some almighty mountains today. We haven't done mountains in the past couple of weeks. So
Almighty mountains. Alright. It's even nuttier that, according to what he's saying there, he doesn't go into this with, like, a plan. It's not like he knew what he was going to do today. He was just like, nah, it's gonna be grayscale. We're just gonna start with moving the brush around in the sky, get some grayscale. You know, maybe we'll do mountains, maybe, like... This is the 3rd time I've done this painting. Oh, okay. It's planned, gotcha. Have I gone back to work yet? I have, but my current job is just a temp job. So I have this job for 3 months. I work from home. Basically, just... It's using... It's basically database updating. That's not exactly what I do, but it's probably the best way to put it. PBS the one for the show. Oh, okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if spray can's working too much. It does give us some variety, but I don't think it's the same as what he's got going. However, that's what we got.
Now we'll clean the brush.
But I hope things are going well for you. Also temp 4 months. All right.
Shake off the excess paint thinner. And there we go. Okay, now gentle swirling motions here. We're going to begin blending this guy together. And beat the devil out of it. Very gentle. Just let it work. Let it play.
See, that's something I can't really do is blend. That's not something I can do. I get what he's doing. I see the point. I cannot do that. Yeah, just let it play. Like, I can't do that. That's not a... Like, if I was working in Photoshop, but that would defeat the whole purpose of, like, let's see if we can do this with MSPaint.
Just to give an indication of light slipping through there.
Oh, I mean the paint.
There we go. Now,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
a little.
Yeah, so he's going to have these nice faded clouds. We're going to have very harsh.
That's probably the biggest suggestion I can give you that will help you. Let it continually go in circles. Otherwise, it'll look like it's raining up. We don't want that
That's all we need to do. Yeah, I'll get right on it.
Okay, now we're just gently
Minimize
blending
music
it together a little.
All right, well,
Okay,
got a little bit of...
Take the fan brush, and I'm going to take
Just
a little
bit.
of this gray color on the fan brush. Very, very
Not a lot
little
in the
color.
middle.
Very little color. And let's put a few
No
little happy
blurring
clouds
tool.
in here that are
Nope.
a little bit
Not
more
in paint.
distinct. And that'll push everything else back. Once again,
Alright.
circular pattern. Always try to do this in little circles.
Just draw the rest of the owl. God damn. I like how that is not exactly a new meme, but it's persisted. I like it. Honestly, the crayon might be the one for this one, though. Let's use, like, this size, and let's go smidgen darker. Just gonna do it a little smaller. Just okay. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Spray can a little white in. Not a bad idea. Let's say, spray, just a little, I don't want to fade it too much, but yeah, that could work a bit. Just a little topping of white spray. Alright, I feel like any more we get it too light, but that's not bad, it's not bad. I already forgot which one we were on. That one with the crayon. How much goes? Well, yeah, no worries, it's all good.
Just let these little clouds float around the sky.
Alright, some
Now we'll take.
I feel like I keep starting counterclockwise and then ending
Very
clockwise.
Blend out the back of it.
So
Fluff it up a little bit.
we could do
Blend it together.
something like,
Maybe a little more gray, and we'll put another little cloud.
you know what, honestly this might be the better way. Get some highlights in there this way.
There we are.
And then I could always hit it again with the white to
Just let him
lessen it a bit.
fluff it.
Yeah, really knock that one down a smidge. Go back here.
Okay.
Yeah, it still gives it a little bit more
Pretty nice little sky.
color that side. Okay.
They would do
That
some fantastic mountains.
Such a great
Everybody
sound.
enjoys mountains. So let's start here, and we'll just use the same gray mixture and beat the devil out of it.
These are the nights we get good use out of that. Oh, hold on, I didn't see what it did. Damn it, go back. Besides beating the devil out of it, what did it
Fantastic
do?
Mountains. Everybody enjoys mountains.
Yeah, mountains are cool.
So let's start here, and we'll just use the same gray mixture, just blue and brown.
No, just doing gray.
Over
Okay.
here and drop in a fantastic big old mountain.
Damn. I know I said this a ton last time, but like, yeah, he makes it look so easy. But that is part of it, besides the fact that I'm using MS Paint, which is obviously not the intended medium for any of this. One of the things he definitely does, it's easy to miss if you're trying to paint along in real life with real paints, is he does cover it in liquid white first so he can kind of blend on the canvas. And if you don't do that, not to say it's impossible to mimic him, it's just harder. Bob Ross POV filter sounds, you know? Oh, you got another one? Jeez. If they ever do a league that has anything to do with like painting or painted stuff, definitely. Oh, not a legendary, but still. I think we used these ones last time. Just as a test, I think this is... Yeah, that's a fairly decent one. Okay. It's so hard to see where the cursor is on this. Like, ugh. I'm sure if I keep it down here, you guys might be able to see it, but even then, it's small. But like, moving it into here, it's just like, where is it? If I don't already know, I'm not going to find it. Fishing log before Endwalker, maybe? It's a nice positive to the delay, is people can finish stuff up. I don't really know how to duplicate those lines super well. Well, it's fine. Also pretty sure I went way too far to the right, but whatever. Let's go a lefty one. It's so easy to lose your mouse cursor. That's not how a mountain looks. You know, we can make do with that. That'll do. How do I don't remember how I did it last time to go along with those. Oh, last time, no, I wouldn't do that. It wasn't this one either. Oh, no. Was it this brush? I'm trying to remember what I did last time that kind of worked for mountains. I think it might have been that one. So we'll just try to go with it for now. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, there he comes.
It's magic.
Let him wander. Very little paint. We take off all the excess paint.
Then he just... Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, I've made this look perfectly easy.
The value, what's been pushed into the canvas.
Jeez.
Now with the large brush, we'll pull that down. There we go. Already we begin to have a basic mountain shape.
Okay. Alright. Work with that. No, I can't, but we're gonna try to work with that. The heck do you mimic that? Like, how do you do that? Back to the Wi-Fi. Okay, now chat easier. Heck yeah. Easier chat's not always a good time. I feel like we just do like... I think we maybe did something like this, where like we knew there was going to be a center line there and we just kind of go down the sides a bit. Definitely not going the exact mountains he's going with at this point, but like just going for a general feel of mountainness, as it were, for the moment. They're in a roughly same place as his. We're rolling with it. Don't overthink it. They're mountains. I'm gonna kind of have to ignore that peak. I don't really know how to work with that one. Over here, maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is either what we did last time or it's similar enough. Because it gets a decent effect. It ain't Bob Ross, but it ain't bad Ross. One little tiny one down here. Music has memories. I'm surprised you guys can even hear the music. I got it down really low because this particular episode is also very quiet. It definitely ain't exactly what he's doing, and I'm also gonna go a little more closer to the mountains over here. Just so it kind of looks like maybe it's blowing over the mountains. Now that I've got the mountains there, I can kind of tweak that a bit. Again, I'm not going for anything resembling perfection here. If I was, I'd go, you know, Photoshop or something and really try. And I'm sure somebody could do that. I'm sure you could really mimic Bob Ross pretty effectively with the right tools. Alright, that's not bad. That's not bad. These tracks are branded into your soul. I believe that.
Ready? Now we'll highlight that mountain. Here, I'll take some white. Just titanium white. Let's have our light coming from the right, so we'll put a little highlight. Oh, maybe right there.
Disgusting. It just looks so easy.
Right up in here somewhere. And then light's going to strike right along this edge.
Alright, should probably finish up. Did we decide on that one? Just the... Oh, that's not quite dark enough. I feel like that's too dark now. Good enough, really. Make sure it's kind of filled in. Honestly, I don't know if we have to do much of the white highlight, because I feel like just this process is kind of already done it. Bob Ross so great, it's the stuff he used. Yeah, true. Well, what makes Bob Ross great is Bob Ross. But yeah, just oil paints, a palette knife, a brush, the colors he lists, and liquid white on the canvas. You're good. He was not using MS Paint. He absolutely was not, though I have no doubt that he could do it and make it look good. I have no doubt about that. Alright, so for this one, maybe we go with a slightly smaller brush. I'm not going to go harsh white. I know he's going white. I'm going to go... Let me just see how this even looks. Yeah. Maybe this is the time for this one. And maybe it is the time for the harsh white. Just have it be, you know. And, the white makes it look like it's just blank background, so we'll go with this. Kind of grayish snow. Just slight highlights. I'm not really sure if I'm placing them in the right spots. I don't really have the visuals of this mountaintop perfect, but it's something.
There. Now for the shadow color, since we have nothing else, we'll just take a little gray and white, make it a little bit darker than what we have up there for the highlight, but a little lighter than the darkest color on there.
Like
so somewhere
there.
in between.
There.
Now, very gently, we'll begin pulling shadows in here. Follow the contour of the mountain. Shoo. There we go.
Again, just makes it look easy.
There it comes. Just let that old paint break as it pulls down there. Okay, a little bit over here. I think we
I feel like that's effectively what we did with this anyway. But let's just, you know, go again. I feel like that's effectively what we were doing. I do like the way this brush does the mountains. I feel like this is a decent way of doing them, visually. Do you know what? To the point where I think I'm gonna do... There you go. Do those over with this brush. It gives it that slight blended appearance. Yeah. Kind of small compared to his relative canvas size.
we've mentioned this
Are they?
before, but you need to have a very, very firm
Haven't gotten
to
a...
do this.
Yeah. That's fair. Let's extend them a bit. Alright, so it started with a... Let's go about yay. Bigger. Yeah, let's just extend that peak a smidge, a little darker. Extend that peak down a smidge. With a little bit more crosswise action. This comes down a smidge. This goes over a smidge. Yeah, he's also kind of gone to the edge of the canvas, and I hadn't. Alright, alright. I can always scale it out with more clouds, true. So then we went smaller and lighter for the highlight tones. Actually, probably should be in shadow, shouldn't it? And about yay for shadow tones. I feel like it's still kind of on the side of that mountain. I feel like that's my strongest mountain, and these are kind of like, that exists. It works, I suppose. I feel like I kind of lost the peaks down here.
If you have a thin, oily paint, you're really going to get into some problem areas because you'll become a mud mixer. You need a paint that's strong, firm, dry.
Needs strong, firm paint. Alright, we can make another little... I feel like there's not quite enough color. Instead of the white, do like that one. Yeah, okay. It's not quite canvas white, but it gives us a little more pop. Without going straight to like, oh, looks like you didn't paint that spot viper. Let's actually do a little bit of that. Just trying to extend these peaks, as it were. A little bit of shadow on the far side. I don't know if this is quite working either. It's like it's one mountain, a sloppier mountain, and a sloppier mountain.
Okay, we'll give this one a little shadow right there.
We don't have the slap itself, but we do have his quote for it. He's also extending a little bit more canvas
Let your
left.
imagination just wander around when you're doing these things. Now, with a clean, dry brush,
Yeah, so screw it. We'll extend a little canvas left. I feel like you just gotta start with a strong, decent line to begin with, though. Like having that strong line to start it helps a bit. Yeah, that's decent. That's decent. Very Bob Ross-esque voice, just deeper. I don't know. Not something I thought about myself. Oh, yeah, but we do have a... Where was it? Bob, right?
beat the devil out of it.
We don't have the slap, but we got the quote. You need a lot of use out of this brush tonight. There we go, get a more defined peak. It definitely looks like we're just recursion mountains, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Excuse me. Alright, now I'm probably going a bit too down, but whatever. Gonna commit to it. Get some of the shading in there. There we go. Alright. Feel feel like that's pretty much about what I was aiming for the mountains. Without going too much over. Alright, let's see what it goes.
We'll just lay some mist down here by tapping. Just tap the bottom of it.
Some mist.
Over here, follow these angles and tap. Then lift upward, always following the angles that you built into your mountains. Mountains are so simple, they're hard.
The mountains are so simple, they're hard. Alright, so something like that. The spray. Just something like yay. Don't want to go too much and cut the colors down, but just enough to give it like a little misty vibe, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna have some down here, but I'm sure we're gonna layer over that at some point, so like, whatever. Very crosshatch angles here. Honestly, it just kind of makes it look more like it's snowing than anything, but I'll take it. You already got it.
Hey, that gives us a nice, quick little basic mountain. Let's put one on the other side. Might as well have some good practice here. Let's come right up here. Oh, yeah, almighty mountain. There he comes. And just let him wander right on down here in front.
Yeah, honestly?
Now, this one I want to be a little darker in value than the one I have behind, so it looks closer. So I'm applying a little more color.
You definitely went a little browner than I did, but that's okay.
Okay, we'll
I went more like
down.
Traditional bluish grayscale, but
I'm not blending it as
I don't
much
feel
once again.
don't think that's a big deal.
There we go. All right, clean the paint off the brush here.
Alright. Definitely feel like getting that strong angle brush to start it with is nice. The hell is my mouse cursor? It's there. Okay. Truly cannot see. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. A smidge lighter. This. It's being at the edge of the canvas is gonna make me screw up a little. Yeah, like that whole line. How did that happen? Doesn't like when the mouse goes off the camera. So we'll just do this. We'll let that peak be as it is. Like, yeah, look at it. It's doing that straight line down. MSPaint has some quirks, yo. Some quirks that I'm learning as we go. Trying to keep some out of a decently strong center line. A little jagged, but it's a mountain. It should have a little bit of a jagged line. Viper, a master artist, clearly. MSPaint 3D, I have that installed. But yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I feel like you need VR for that or something. I don't know, I haven't actually launched it. I'm assuming that's a VR type thing, but I don't really know. Somehow even worse than Paint. That doesn't sound easy. Like, you gotta try to be worse than Paint. I mean, Paint does what it does. It's a super easy to run program. Every computer can run it. It's just there. Like, it does what it does. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. And it lets you kind of have a bit of fun trying to challenge yourself with stuff like this. Oh, it's not VR, okay. Somehow I just thought it would be something like that, like painting in 3D space.
I probably just bought a studio. Okay, now we'll put some snow on this mountain.
I swear, I look away and like the mountain just
Contour
looks.
of the mountain.
Tool for drawing quick diagrams. Yes, absolutely. All the more reason, you know, we do this and be like, well, let's see what we can do. No, swear I clicked the lighter color. Definitely feel like these mountains are blending into the background ones, but whatever. We'll make do.
Mountains used to really give me a fit when I was a traditional painter. Oh, I'd spend weeks sometime working with a little brush trying to make all these things happen. There.
Hmm.
Isn't that fantastic? That you can make whole mountains in minutes. And you can do it. There's no big secret to it. All you need is a dream in your heart.
Yeah, he's bringing the snow in these pretty far down. Let's bring that snow down a
More of the
ways.
shadow color. And we'll throw some shadows in here and move right along.
You can't, no. Mere mortals can't.
Touch dark.
Bob
There
Ross,
we
on the
go.
other hand,
That's what we
absolutely can.
want. Put a little shadow right in there.
We were...
Little shadow here.
Go there.
Ah, there's one. There he is.
It's magic.
It absolutely is.
There we go. See how easy it is to give dimension to these mountains? It's all a game of...
And like, his just looks so three-dimensional. Like, these look fine. I don't hate these. But his is just like, okay, it's popping off the canvas. And it's like, you madman, how dare you? How dare you be so phenomenally good? So phenomenally fast. It's like buttering bread with a brick. I wish it was as easy as buttering bread with a brick. I can't... I mean, that's not far off, to be fair. It's definitely how it feels. I'm gonna let the darkness on the mountain carry down there. Though I feel like just a little more... He's got his going further down the canvas. Let's just go with that darker base color and then lighter over it again. Stupid paint doesn't want me going to the edge of the canvas. Why doesn't it want me going to the edge of the canvas? I don't know. Who would... I don't know. Just say this one takes a sharp angle there and it's fine. Then we hit it with that lighter. Pop, 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 pop. Alright, passable. I feel like I'm always going either too deep into the canvas or not deep enough. Also that all these mountains just angle hard to the right. Whatever. I'm not sure about those bits, but we're gonna keep
angles.
Get texture in MS Paint, yeah.
Mountains of
It's
geometric
the thing is
shapes.
it's doable. It's not easy, but it's
Play with
doable.
angles. Okay, maybe we'll...
Oh, for sure.
Just a touch further here.
People do some very innovative ways of applying
Okay.
something to something else to
Gently
get
tap
lots of
on these a
texture
little,
from it.
Just to diffuse them. Don't want to destroy, just diffuse.
I feel like diffuse for us means hit lightly with the spray can. I feel like that's the best option we got. Is hit it with like a medium level. Just a little. maybe hit it a little darker. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's actually gotten a little too dark. Let's go for the lighter. Lighten it up a smidge. That might lighten it too much. Well, that definitely diffuses it slightly. So, yeah. Destroys painting. I would never intentionally.
Get this brush dirty. I think we'll put some water in here. Maybe we'll have water in this one. There we go.
Like, how do I do that?
These lines level so your water doesn't look like it's running.
Oh man, you're right.
You have to tie a bow
I've
to
got tea, and I'm enjoying the tea, but hot cocoa would have been a smart decision. I don't think I currently have any hot cocoa, but I do have to go grocery shopping. I don't know when I'm going to find time, but I should grab hot cocoa. It's getting to be that season for sure. I mean, tea's never bad, but hot cocoa would also be good.
one in to catch it.
Like, I see what he did, but like...
There we are.
Throw it on the PC screen. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go, I'll get right on that. Seems perfect. This actually seems another spray application to me. Just like liquid white, Alright. Goes a little bit darker on the sides than the middle. I don't know if that gives off a water vibe. I don't think it does. His does. Ah, you're right, gotta use paint thinner. Yeah, this is something. Just trying to get at the right amount of color depth. Turpentine, oh man. Yeah, I don't want to mess with turpentine. Turpentine and, what's the other one? A lot of like paint thinning chemicals and like solvents are fairly nasty business.
Okay.
Having once worked at a paint store, can say, there's a bunch of those I wouldn't want to mess around with.
I'm going to use the 1-inch brush, and I'm just going to gently lift up. This is just a clean brush. Just lift up. Make it look like little things way back in the distance back here. Far, far away. There we go. Just lifting upward. Little short strokes.
Oh, the asbestos for sure. Okay. How are we going to do this? What tools at our disposal let us do anything we got? Like, that's true. No lead in MS Paint. Too harsh. I feel like it's got to be the heckin' spray can again, right? Like it's... I feel like we're just using two different types of things over and over, but like... Maybe a little lighter. There you go. There's some like plants and trees over there. Just in the distance. On the mountain. On the leading edges of it. Aerospray. No. Shoot on old Hot Wheel cars. Oh, yeah. Thankfully, lots less lead in just everything these days, which is good. Lead's kinda not great for you. Kinda sorta a little bit not great for you, you know. Casually. I also think I made these ones way whiter than I made these ones. But I guess that's the whole, like, make it look like it's closer. I don't know if it works as well over there. And some stuff over here.
There we. All right. Just here and there. And maybe there's some little evergreens back here. And we'll make some with a fan brushing, and maybe we'll make some with a palette mat today. That's a little bit different. All right, let's just drop a little evergreen right here. And I'm using a color that's very, very close to the background mountains. So they look far, far away.
Yeah, get out the fan brush. I'll get right on that. Close to the background mountains. I'm gonna say that puts us at about yay. I'm pretty sure we did something along the lines of like... Huh? No. Huh? No. Was it the crayon? Are we finally doing the crayon? Not exactly what I'm looking for, but not too bad. Maybe the crayon, honestly. Maybe the crayon, but a smidge darker. Alright.
My friend.
Oh, he's already on his second tree. I blink and there's a second tree. Of course there is. Of course there's a second tree. Hot cocoa obtained? Hell yeah. Leaves for the tree. Like that kinda gets some of it across. But I wouldn't call it like the best way of doing it. We do some of that. Some of this one. Still not amazing. But it's not terrible. Everyone needs a friend, of course. Happy little tree friends. Alright, let's go back to the crayon for the smaller tree friend. Little tree friend in the background. We are dropping a few frames on my end tonight, because of course we are. So if you get the occasional buffering, it might be on me.
As you make trees that in your mind are a little bit closer to you, allow them to get a little darker. A little bit darker. And maybe there's one. There he is.
There he is.
Right there. Now he's closer, so we want him darker. There we go. And we'll lay some color right there.
Oh yeah, by the way, I guess the tree's done. Let's just make sure the mountains get cut like... Oh yeah, I've never actually seen an episode, but I'm aware of it. Yeah, so we want a slightly darker tree, we want it closer, hell yeah. If we want it. But sure. We'll go, I know he put his closer to here, but I'm feeling mine this way. Also feeling that's a very crooked trunk, but... whatever. That. And let's do some of this. No, I meant that one. No, it actually did mean the other one. We're fine. That's a tree, right? That's where the mouse cursor is. It's somewhere tree adjacent. In the realm of trees. Why don't we do a little bit of... just a little... spruce up. Dang, we're just dropping some heckin' frames tonight. Thanks, Optimum. Optimum Online, the best internet service. It's never steered me wrong in my history of anything. I don't have like Steam running or anything, no. No, just internet. Joy. Hopefully it's not bad. Charlie Brown tree. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a bit of that vibe to it.
Lift up, just to make all kind of little things happen. Since this is a wet-on-wet technique, you can smooth the paint, it'll slide. The magic wire.
Yeah, it's a wet-on-wet technique, so you just move the paint, it'll slide. It's like, you can. You can do that. Try to, yeah, kind of fill in some of them gaps with some amount of tree foliage. It doesn't quite look full Charlie Brown. It's still gonna look a bit that way, but you know, it's just the nature of things. Maybe a bit lighter on that one. Too light. Yeah, keep those a little bit lighter in the distance. I feel like I'm just fading those trees too much. This one's doing okay. Alright, alright.
And it'll just slide and move. All you have to do is learn to
Fuel it, yeah.
Okay.
He added a little bit to the mountains, but I don't really know. Best bet for that is maybe like a little... What? It's a little accent on the bottom. Maybe a little accent going down there. I feel like that doesn't really feel mountainous, but... I also don't hate it. I don't know if it feels super mountainous, but I don't hate it. There you go. Maybe just continue it along. I've committed, so let's keep it going. Beat it with your blending. Yeah, get right on that. Get right on that. Could, in theory, even just do a little same thing over here, but lighter. Yeah, it's something. It's something. Could be your waterline, yeah.
Now, let's put a little bit of reflection into the water. I've taken a little bit of the tree color, and I'm just going to gently pull down.
Oh, well.
Straight down.
Yeah.
Most important that it comes straight down. And maybe we'll make an uneven one here so all kind of little things can happen. Now, after you've pulled it down, very gently go across, just enough to give it a watery feel.
Just enough to give it a watery feel. I got you, Bob. I got you. It's even the best way to... Gotta be this. Smaller tree color. And then we'll just, do our usual spray paint over it. Procedure. I also have a very uneven waterline, but I don't know if that was as much by design as it was. Whoops. Now we'll hit it with that spray paint. About yay. Hold on. There you go. Give it a little blending, we'll call it. Yes, that is blended. You know what? Little all that. There we go. Perfect blending. Do you know Lahi? Of course I know Lahi. How could I not know Lahi?
Boy.
It's the greatest.
And look at that already.
That performance will go down in history.
Let's take a little bit of the magic
It just
white
will.
mixed with a little bit of firm white. I want to paint this a little bit thinner. There we go. Now, cut through it. And let's put some happy little water lines back here.
I will play Lahi.
Now, watch right in here. And we'll
it's
crinkle the
art.
cove. Just that easy. But all these lines need to be basically straight, or once again, your water will run right out of the painting.
Your water will run right out of the
Just let it
paint.
run right on around the corner here.
The pianist face is
Just
what
like so.
absolutely sold that moment.
Okay.
It really cemented that was not... that he definitely did not let her know he was about to come on by and pull a stunt like that. We're looking for straight lines. None of these really do great straight lines. I think that's our best bet. It's just kind of getting the feeling of a highlight more than it is actually getting straight water lines, but that's okay here, I feel. It's not quite the same, but
Let's make some happy little evergreen trees, and promise today we'd make them a little bit different than we have in the past. We'll make them with the almighty palette knife here. Okay, decide basically where you want a tree, right there. Now, we're going to load just a tiny bit of paint right on the point of the knife and touch.
can't stop
Just
it.
begin touching. We're not trying to draw with this knife. All we're doing is laying paint on the canvas. We touch the canvas takes
Oh,
what it wants,
absolutely.
gives you back what's left.
I think he's going big
Let's put this
foreground
blue
tree
right
now,
in
right?
here. And we're still using nothing but
Just-
the blue and the Van Dyke brown.
This is a tree.
Van Dyke
Oh yeah, big foreground.
brown.
Okay.
Tree. Maybe right there's another one.
Just
I just want to do enough of these to show you how to do them. And when you do your painting at home, you determine how many trees live in your forest. There we go. See
I
that?
gotta put a little more into these
Lot of
foreground
paint, though.
trees, make them look a little
And what's
better.
really nice, when this painting dries, these trees are very thick, you can feel the texture. All right. Maybe over here, maybe a great big tree, maybe one that, maybe he's tired,
Yeah,
like that.
I love the sound of the
But once
palette
again, if
knife
you're committed, you've
on the
got a big tree
canvas.
there now.
Vroom.
Okay, so there we go.
I'd be so worried I would just like cut through or something. But I guess he's not pushing that hard. He's probably not.
Okay. And hum along as you paint. Just let it flow off your knife. La la la, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. A lot of paint. thick trees, strong, almighty trees.
Alright, I gotta start catching up with some trees. I kind of just was
Trunk
seeing what he was
indication
doing.
just by cutting through. Right over here. Up here. Just a little indication. Maybe some little stems here and there. Okay. Now, if we want to highlight these trees,
It's just too good. There you go. He's just too good. Alright, what do we got? How do we approximate anything close to that? So we're definitely going darker in color for these. Delver, the server, Mudai. Oh, hell yeah, congrats. Gotta love Gaugagar. Top tier. Good character. Or Guy Ishio? That's his, I guess I never really knew his last name. I knew it was Guy, but hell yeah. One day maybe I'll finish the Super Robot Wars we're on and get the new Super Robot Wars. Maybe, if there's ever any time. Alright, there's one tree trunk. There's going to be a second one. He kind of did his there, so I'm going to do mine there. It's going to be a foreground tree, but it's going to be not the biggest foreground tree. Yeah. And maybe this will work for this too. Yeah. We do a slightly big. Well, that might be too much. I don't know. I don't hate it. It's definitely trying something different for the trees. We'll go other angles over here. I feel like that gives it more of a tornado vibe than a tree. I feel like we definitely got big tornado vibes going over here now. Tree-nado. Maybe this one we just try. Oh, see, that doesn't feel great either. I feel like that has more of the look to it, but I don't know. It's just I gotta add a little more oomph to it. Okay, that might help a bit. Oh man, like I know it got pushed back, but still can't wait for Endwalker. Spearfishing's not gonna be the best. Now gonna be the best type of fishing. New music, new dungeons, everything. But mostly new fishing. And we're dropping. I mean, it's still under 1%, which is nice, but you know. More horizontal. They do, absolutely. Yeah, this is kind of one of those evergreen trees, isn't it? I'm a little committed to that one now, though, but we can try and do a little highlighting on this one of, like, branches going more out. I definitely should have done under the tornado bit instead of over top it. But, you know. Now it just looks like this tornado has a rib cage. I've given the tornado bones. I didn't hate spearfishing, but it was definitely just not as good as fishing. Now it's a cute little mini game where you just stab a spear up. Oh man. Two-week delay. Now early access is the 3rd of December. So yeah, it's 2 weeks back. And for the one on the back here, we'll try a little more of the straight up horizontal lines. Because you really, do you know what we can also do that we don't do enough of? Zooming. There you go. Now I can make that work a little better. Same brush.
It's magic.
Just start with like, huh? Maybe a bigger brush. This is going to be background anyway, so it's fine. We zoom out and it doesn't even look good at all. Ooh, that's too much. This is also very clearly a tree at like an angle. But that's what the trunk was, and that's what we're rolling with. Excuse me, hiccups. There you go. There's a tree back there now. They can, that's true. Which is why I'm not really losing sleep over it. It's just kind of funny. I meant to try to do it a vertical one. And then he had an almost white, like, bit down the center. Which I'm going to say is closer to this with a small, just like a, I wanted it, oh, I wanted it like that color. To give it the vague appearance of like branches and stuff. I don't think mine's getting quite the same effect his had, but it's fine. I don't love the look of that actually. Blur it up a little bit. At least it's not like stark white. Yeah, I mean, they only announced it last night anyway, so it's not like it's old news or anything. It was literally the first thing they talked about in the live letter, was that it had to get a delay. So it's like less than 24-hour old news anyway. We're not talking something that's been known for too long. Just a little, I don't even know if it's, no, kinda, just filling a bit of the gap between where the brush strokes were. Alright, still don't like the white line as much as I thought I would, but yeah.
Trees, maybe lay a little
Frowny
bit of
little
snow.
trees. No, these are
Shadow
happy
side and the
trees.
highlight side, so I'll just
All
use the
trees
same
are happy trees, kind of like
basic
all
shadow
dogs are good
colors I
boys.
used on the mountain.
Except for the ones that are
Maybe a
good
touch
girls.
darker. There we go.
It's the rules. I don't make the rules, it's just the truth.
All right, now, very gently, very gently. Just touch so the paint grabs on those high points. Just barely touch, like so.
Just
Put
blending
the shadow in
trees.
first. Let's go over here. Here it comes. Barely touch.
Alright. Shadow the trees a bit. Keep the pressure light, yeah, You know how I do. Light on my toes. It's fine. Always good. Why do I do the heckin' accents to it? With that, like, downward motion, when the tree itself was very horizontal. That's alright. Trying to get the... I don't know if it's quite shadow on this one, or just highlights. For this tree, it very clearly should follow the same downward vibe we had going. Yeah, we keep dropping just a few frames here and there, but it's a pain in the butt. It's optimum.
There it is.
Only on the nights we're doing special things. Like if I'm just doing standard like Monster Hunter Night or whatever, it's fine. Hey, no worries, man. Thanks for hopping by. Hope you enjoyed some mountains and trees. It's
Okay, now
it's
for
a
the other
painting.
side. Maybe there's some snow
Yeah,
laying on these
hope you enjoyed.
trees.
See you around.
Take a little bit of white, titanium white.
He's going white.
And very gently, once again.
He's going for like a
Just
little bit of snow on
little
it.
touch.
Okay.
Catch the high points. Don't want to kill all that beautiful dark color.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it over here. Little tiny bit.
It's a little... that's too much.
Like so.
It's the best way. So the best way to do this might not be to go straight white, actually. Let's say maybe more of the snow bunches up towards the bottom of the tree. Just try to get some of the same vibes going over here. And probably more snow a little towards the bottom. This one probably doesn't have quite as much snow because it would kind of fall off.
Now, while we got this dark paint going here, let's just lay a little bit right into here. Okay.
Heckin' magic stuff. There you go. We got some special looking trees around. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll take a 1-inch brush. And back to one of our golden rules. It takes dark.
That was
color
what I
to
was
show
going to
light.
ask, yeah. For if anybody had
So we'll
recommendations for
take-
another one.
A dark color on the 1-inch brush here. We'll throw in some little bushes. These are just the shadows for the bushes.
Alright, so you took like a fairly darker. Something like so. I think mine's a little too dark, but we can always spray paint over it and lighten it up a smidge. We have ways of lightening for now. Bushes, the only way we're going to do that is these. Like, that's the only way. There's no way other than spray paint that we're going to get bushes in there. And it's not even going to be great, but like, it's really our only option for like... There's a bush right there. Bush right there. Right there. If we go over this whole bottom area a little bit, with that little watery pizzazz. Also, hey Mitz, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Unique thing that never happens again. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yes, welcome to art.
Something like so.
There's still almost 10 minutes left in this episode, like... Mad lad.
And over here, maybe some bigger trees. Always try to remember to do the thing that's farthest away first. Like, in my mind, this tree's behind these bushes, so you need to do him first. And then come forward. Okay, now that we have
Oh,
dark...
thank you. It's one of those things that, like, when I'm working on it, it doesn't look that great, but, like, it's the layers. The more layers that end up happening, like, the stuff in the back starts to pop a bit more. I see what he did. I'm just trying to figure out how I am going to do that. I feel like maybe the... Is this one gonna... kinda... We're obviously gonna go with a slightly different color, but this might kind of approximate. These are like big foreground brushes. We'll probably spray paint a light highlight over this. Give it a little pizzazz when we're done. This is not really feeling pizzazzy. Well, we got some foreground, you know, shrubbery. It's maybe too dark, maybe too foregroundy. I don't know. But again, you add a little bit of spray paint over that with like a slightly lighter big nozzle. And hit it with a little bit of that. Keep it from getting too bright. Keep some swirlies in there. Get a little bit of some lighter over here. Maybe too light. Got some more swirlies over there. It's a delicate process of swirlies and paintbrushes. Yes, we've got the Black Magic Bob Ross music. Again, this is one of his older episodes, so the volume's kind of low, which is why the music volume is really low, because I don't want to...
Okay, now that we have dark, we can begin worrying about the light.
Yeah, see, that's what
here and turn it into a happy little reflection. Zip. That easy.
That easy.
Okay. Now we
get
use
right on it.
A 1-inch brush with a little magic white.
How do I try to do that here? How do I even attempt that here? It's gotta be this. It's gotta be this. First we need a line to work with. I'm trying not to use straight line tools, but I feel like for a reflection you kind of need a line. That's our line. We'll just go from there. I'm trying to do stuff mostly freehand, but I feel like for the reflection, a line to start it off of is pretty decent. And we're still not exactly hitting that line perfect either, but you know. It's more a guideline than a rule. It's more a guideline than a ruler. Also, hey, ask how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. It's going, you know, we're basically Bob Ross Part 2. I just gotta get the hair to, you know, get the volume to it.
White and a little firm white.
And we'll basically be there.
Mixed together. We're looking for a paint that's slightly thinner than what's on the canvas already, so it'll stick.
You know, now that I look at it more, I feel like the straight line was a mistake. Straight line was the mistake. Let's kind of try to get a little of that out of there. I have some regrets, and my regret is the straight line. But also, if we can just do a little darker down there, I feel like that'll give us kind of that same idea as the line. If we just follow kind of along. I think we want it to be a little darker, longer on this edge. It's not quite what he did, but it's I don't know. Nature isn't perfect. Yeah, exactly true. Barbosa over the line more. Yeah, exactly. It's good. There we go.
Thick. Maybe a touch more magic. There we go.
A touch more magic. See, that's how he does it. He puts magic in the paint.
Push off all these beautiful little leaves. Just let them hit. Sparkle in the sun. And at the same time, you can reflect them right into the water.
It's just that easy.
There comes one.
It's that reflection magic.
There they are. Look at them little rascals.
Two little
Unreal that you
rascals.
can do that and
Okay, how do we MS paint that? I feel like maybe crayon again, but crayon is probably too loose. It honestly, it keeps coming back to the spray can, but like, I feel like spray can is like one of the only ways to kind of grasp that. Let's just go like white. Got a nice little rounded bush over there. Got a little more of a vertical bush. Just cuz. And maybe a long log oak bush over here. With
Tell me, for whom do you fight?
It's been an hour.
How very glib.
Time for the arrow spray. Yeah, everybody uses it because it's the way to go. Oh, the music too, I hadn't even noticed.
Falsehoods.
Yeah.
Its city-states are built on deceit, and its faith is an
There you go,
instrument
there's
of
the-
deception. It is not
the reflection
but a
there.
cobweb of lies. To believe in Eorzea is to believe in nothing. In Eorzea,
There's the
beast
reflection
tribes often
there.
summon gods to fight in their stead. Though your comrades only rarely respond in kind, which is strange, is it not? Are the 12 otherwise engaged? I was given to understand they were
And
your
nice little reflection down there.
protectors.
Cool.
If you truly believe them your guardians, why do you not repeat the trick that served you so well at Cartano?
Yeah, I can't do that.
Pull them down.
Like, yeah,
They
I see what he's
will
doing.
answer,
I can't quite
so
do
long
that.
as you lavish them with crystals and
The best I've
gorge
got
them
is
on
another
ether.
little
Your gods are no different
light
from
spritzing
those of
of-
the beasts. Icons.
I don't know how that's gonna
everyone,
work, 'cause they're already
except
kinda-
for this, and you will see how Eorzea's faith is bleeding the land dry. Nor is this unknown to your masters.
There we go,
Which
that's not too
prompts
bad.
the question, why do they
Honestly,
cling
we should
to
fill
these
out a
false
little bit down here.
deities? What drives even men of learning, even the great Louis Soir, to grovel at their feet? The answer? Your masters lack
alright,
the
I don't hate
strength
it.
to do otherwise. For the world of man to mean anything, man must own the world. To this end, he hath fought ever to raise himself through conflict, to grow rich through conquest. And when the
Little
dust
snowy
of battle settles,
shore.
it is
Alright,
ever the
alright.
strong who dictate the fate of the weak. Knowing
That one we
this,
can work with.
but a single path is open to the impotent ruler, that of false worship, a path which leads to innovation and death. Only
feel
a
like this
man
brush is
of
definitely the way to
power
go
can
for it.
rightly steer the course of civilization. And in this
Don't
land
wanna
of
cover all
creeping
those
mendacity,
reflections.
that one truth will prove
Just
its
give a little
salvation. Come, champion
essence of
Eorzea.
shore.
Face me. Your defeat shall serve as proof of my readiness to rule. It is only right that I should take your
A
realm.
little trickier over
But
here
none
because I
among
don't
you
want
has the power to stop
to
me.
go too deep. Alright. Kinda works. Go a little maybe deeper over here and then shallower. Get your hourly K as well. Oh, I'm so glad I made that only an hour.
Okay, a little of the
Only once an
thin white,
hour.
and we'll make a little water line underneath it.
I don't really know how I'm gonna waterline it, so
All right. Okay, now we can take and
guess we'll just go like that. They'll end up getting
little sticks here.
plenty too.
Just like so. There we are.
Some sticks in there. Let's go a little brighter. Too deep.
Okay, now we got to worry about the other side. That one's looking good. A little more of the thin white mixed with a thicker white so it'll stick. And we'll put some happy little bushes right along here.
Alright, first of all, we are going to do that, but we still gotta kind of do a little touch up over here. Of just all that. A little... Yeah, I don't know how well that helped. Do a little more of that. Keep those a little defined amongst everything else that's happened. No. Let's use the blend tool, yeah.
Look at them little rascals sparkle in the sun. This is a cold painting. The blue in it makes it so cold.
They need to make an add-on for MSPaint that's just Bob Ross brush tools. That's what we need. 100% what we need. Look at the little rascals, yeah. Look at them, they're sparkling. Alright, so we definitely got like decent over there. Some leaves spreading out over this side. I don't want it to look like just one big blob, but I feel like that's the risk I go with because I can't quite do the texture. He goes, I'm trying to get at least some fairly distinct areas. His kind of continues down into water. It all kind of follows this downward path.
Okay, we'll put a few little stems in these. You know, this reminds me of my home in Alaska. We see a lot of scenes like this. And I've always...
Just drag palette knife on canvas, create life. Hell is the mouse cursor? There it is. Got a few little lines in there. Some amount of... That's a super thin. That's better. It's still not a lot of contrast or anything, but we should give it just a little bit of a smidgen of stuff in there. It's not a ton, but it's just a little bit of definition.
Always wanted to live in a beautiful mountain range like this. So let's build a house. We gotta have a house.
Let's build a house in Alaska.
We'll make the back eave of the house first. Just like so. Then we'll make the other side of the house with just white. Let it run right down the canvas.
Alright, alright. Yeah, Alaska, I didn't realize it would be so expensive, but it makes sense it would be. Want a darker Is this the right side of the brush? No, it's not. It's that one. So I want like a dark. Trying to figure out where the hell the brush is. Something fairly defined over there. And the other side, go heavy on the white. Shockingly, I lived in New York for a year, though I lived in Queens. I can't be like I lived in Manhattan, though I passed through Manhattan plenty and did worked in the Bronx. That was definitely also before streaming time, though. Hey, Birdie! Holy moly! 44 months tier 3. Hot damn, that's a lot of tiers, a lot of months, and a lot of awesome
Holy
Birdie.
44 months, Sneckman. We having fun
Sneckman.
tonight.
Wow, it says Sneckman correctly. Google text-to-speech is getting too strong. It's getting too strong. Why does it accurately say Sneckman? Why is that something it can do? But also, thank you, Birdie. Holy crap, we're having a good time tonight. We're painting. We're trying to lay down this house, which is I see now the error of my ways as to that house, actually. I feel like trying to use these angled brushes is not the way to do this. I don't think that's the way to go. I think our best bet might be something like that. Too transparent. That? Too transparent. Maybe just like the regular heckin' brush. It's too thin. I think they're all gonna have that issue though. Yeah, we'll go with that. Button. Marcus transparency for reflection. True, true. Tend to forget about that one. Excuse me. The brush isn't getting quite what I wanted to either. Maybe we will use this. It's the wrong one. We just got to be slightly more this way. I'm going to fill this in a second. See, his stuff's got a lot of definition in the background. We don't necessarily. Alright, well, that's not terrible. Not a perfectly straight line for the roof, but, you know, houses aren't perfect either. There you go. There you go. Wait for a paint-along stream, of course, the good times.
So, and a little more of the dark color, fill him in the front. Let a little bit of that white get on your knife, just to give it a little tonal values here and there. That side should be good and dark.
Alright, alright. Maybe it is time to go for the darker color again. We have to do some down to upstrokes as well. Give it a little bit of that coverage near the top. This brush is good, but it kind of starts out thin and gets darker. Ooh, too much. I'll make sure it all goes to about the same level. I'll have to put a door in there somewhere, something, or window maybe. That's not a terrible house. It's a house.
Let's give him a door. He needs a door. Little touch of the magic white to outline it.
Yep,
Maybe
that's
this
a
is an old slab
door.
cabin, so we can just put some boards in here.
It's that easy, huh? It's just that easy with a palette knife. Alright, so let's say the door is there.
It's magic.
And we'll go with that thin line. Wait, that actually might be too thin. What? 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 Get some lines for slats. These are all going to get posted to the Discord after, so like you may not be able to see all the stuff here, but like, you know, we'll get to see it in all of its glory on the Discord when we're done.
And we need some snow on the other side of the roof.
Of course, some snow on the other side of the roof. What was I thinking? Oh, damn it! I paused with his face in the way.
Snow on it. We need snow on both sides. There.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Gotta have a little... Maybe go a little... Nope. Well, definitely isn't quite... Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough.
Okay. Now we need some snow on the ground.
Snow on the ground, you say?
Just touch.
Gone mad.
And snow is a game of angles like mountains are. It's most important that you follow the lay of the land when you're laying your snow in. Just let it go in the direction the land flows.
Alright. Snow will go kind of like the mountains then. Which was this one? This one, right? Just continue some snow from the house along the way. That kind of just muddles it a bit, but...
There we are.
He drags white across his canvas, it looks like snow. I drag white across my canvas, it looks like Viper White. You just delete the canvas.
We'll put a happy little bush right here. And then...
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea to give a little contrast. It's gonna give it a little... Even cover the house a little bit. We'll speculate with the spray can in a minute. Speculate like that, I guess. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna highlight it anyway.
Color. And just throw some
Yeah.
highlights on that bush. Like so. And maybe a little bush lives right there. Ah, there we go. Super. All right. Maybe just to play a little here, let's throw a little tree right up through here.
There we go, that's bushish. Where's he adding a heckin' tree? Right down the middle? Alright.
Okay. Maybe we'll put a little highlight on him.
A little
Now
sound
I'm going to use
effects.
the liner brush and some thin oil, and I'll thin some of this down and we'll throw some happy little limbs out here on this tree. Just let them run along. Wherever you think they ought to be. And you can use paint thinner to thin this paint down. I prefer oil because it's slicker. It moves easier.
Alright, I see what he's going for. We can work with this. Probably something like this. Something like that. Darker color. Let's actually get a decent trunk. If we do something like that. That's probably a decent trunk. I was hoping it would actually start a bit thinner. I feel like when I'm trying to get a straight line, it doesn't start thin, but here it is, yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty important to start these away and go towards, so it's got the tapered top edge. Tapered's probably not the word I'm looking for, but the thinner. See, I feel like this one's coming out pretty good. This looks like a tree. Nice twiggy tree, yeah.
Taru?
We need a barrel. Do you know what? You know what? Let me finish the tree. We'll get a barrel in there. I should get one more, like, slightly thicker branch down by the bottom. There you go. That's tree-ish. Let's get a little bit of the white highlight for it. You know what? I need that zoom tool. Just want to get a little bit of it. I want it to be at least fairly consistently on one side. That one's a bit much. Alright. I'd say that looks decent. Let's see if we can barrel. We're going off Bob. But I feel like it's not dissimilar to the house, right? Got a top. You've got it going down. And you got a base to it. And in that, you work with some snow on the top. There you go, nice little snow layer. It's not quite the line I wanted. Man, I can't line tonight. And, get some of these. Get like 2 good metal bands around it. Actually, hold on. that first, and then get like 2 metal bands around it. There you go. We've gone a bit off model, but there's a barrel there now. To Barrel Avenue? I suppose we could be. This is now Barrel Avenue. Detail of Bob Avenue. There you go. It's a barrel.
There
We got a tree, we got our cabin, we got our barrel.
Right there. And we just let him go. A few little sticks down here at the bottom. I think we just about have a finished picture. A little bit of oil here, and we're going to sign him in red. We're going to cheat.
Gonna cheat and sign it in red.
This is a fantastic painting because it uses only gray and white.
Alright. I'm gonna do a little bit of his making some sticks on the side. I like that. Both like yay. Just go a little. Yeah. Couldn't see where my mouse cursor was. Just a little bit of some stuff there. Which I'm of course gonna hit again with the slight. Like anytime I do anything too harsh, we're just like, yeah, hit it with this. Yeah, a little bit of white for the barrel. Nah. It does need a little bit though. There you go. Now it looks like it's got some snow plastered on the side. Okay, that's actually about the look I was going for. Maybe just a smidge on the top. Yeah, okay. Looks like it actually got some snow on it, which we should also do a little bit on the house. It doesn't look like it's straight standing out. It's like, no, there's some wind blowing this way. Actually, I guess it would be this way for you guys. For me, it's this way. Swapped camera. Alright. We obviously gotta sign it. Let's see, we'll go font size 8. Perfect. Got a free-handed signature. You sure Comic Sans in the smallest font available isn't the way to go? You sure that's not perfection right there? I think that's pretty good. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Sweet. Bob Ross is a mad lad who can create magic from just some hecking gray scale tones, and I try to capture even a little bit of that magic. I will never make short file names when it comes to art. The long file names is part of the art. Alright, let me upload that for you guys real quick. Upload file. The thumbnail looks pretty good. Like a thumbnail size? I'm not gonna lie, thumbnail size looks pretty good. But there you go. It's on the art part of the Discord for the moment. Your episode suggestion? Heck yeah. It's definitely one of those that, like, looking at it now, I'm like, eh. But I felt that about all the last time one too. I'm sure if I, like, look away, do something else, and come back to it, I'm like, eh, it's not too bad. You got a barrel. True, you got the barrel out of it. Alright, hold on, let me shrink Discord again. Linky to Linky.
Oh, welcome back. Glad to see you today.
Oh.
You know, in every
That's
series
not a
there
white
has to be a
canvas.
crazy day, and this is our crazy day. So we thought we'd do a painting that's really far out and that maybe it'll excite the imagination. We're going to have a little campfire down here, and all the big trees around, and we'll just sort of see what happens. And I've taken a black canvas that was painted with a flat black acrylic that was allowed to dry, and then covered the entire canvas with alizarin crimson. So let's go. Let's start out with Cad Yellow.
I have no idea how to duplicate that. But you know what? I do know how to do. I say. Definitely not going to look like Mickey Mouse. Or a cat. There we go. We've got our alternate version now featuring a bear hidden in the back. Big round bear body. Bear leg. There we go. Oh, that saved over it. Well, that's fine. I already have the version uploaded to the Discord, so... Ah, you're right. Let me make sure this is there too. So they're both saved there either way. It'll have the same file name, but that's fine. There you go. Is it even noticeable on the small scale? Not really, but it's fine. Cool. File new. Alright, so I gotta... It's like a wood color. But it's got like texture to it. I'm gonna take this. And go a little browner maybe? That's like a brown. There you go. He called it crimson, but I want to say it's like that. That's what I'm gonna roll with. And we're just gonna paint it. Just the starting color, we're just painting it. Exactly, it's just a background, so like I don't think we gotta go too hard on this. Let's do just a smidgen of that. No, it's just gonna get painted over, but I still am just like give it some texture. There you go, some texture. Is it gonna be noticeable? Probably not. I can see it, but like barely. I wish they let me make the brush size for this like drastically bigger. I think that's as close as we're gonna get to texture on this. You have a little wood grain. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, but like exactly. It's so like maybe I could work on a smaller canvas, but it's no fun in that. I want it to be big, sizable.
On the 1-inch brush, and decide where you want the little campfire to be here. And we'll start, let's put it right there, and just start making little X's or crisscross strokes, and working around. There we go. And just let this go.
I can't do that. That's blending yellow with the background.
Let it go. Because little things are happening. It's picking up the color. There.
I can't do like that's not how MS Paint
Decide
works.
where you want the little campfire to be here. And we'll start, let's put it right there. And just start making little X's or crisscross strokes. And working around.
You did this intentionally, Robin. You picked this intentionally to be like, see you do this in MS Paint, bastard. Alright, well, let's get those. Let's get it going. Like, what scale is he working on there?
And just let this go.
I guess see what he's
Go
doing.
all
I
the
just
way out to the
want to know
edge of the
about how
canvas.
much of
Even if
stuff
you
I'm...
can't see anything happening, let it go. Because little things are happening. It's picking up the color.
Oh, like a ton of
All
the
way out.
canvas.
Just these little crisscross X-type strokes.
Oh, like the canvas. Okay.
Now, you can make this as bright as you want it, but each time, clean.
Okay. Alright, so there's our key core campfire. We're gonna cheat and make it a little reddish, cause that's all we can. Oh, that doesn't look great. I didn't do this last time, and I meant to. But because there are no mistakes, there's only happy accidents, we are not going to Control Z. We're not going to undo anything. Anything that happens is just blending. You don't need to make two colors. Use so much. It's a boxy campfire. Layer over. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should have kept it brush consistent though. This is definitely going to get layered over at some point, but it already looks perfect to how he does it, right? We can agree this is flawless. This is exactly how his looks. Alright, we got a crisscross pattern.
Clean and dry your brush before you go back into
Honestly, people should follow along too. So I'd love to see how like other people tackle the same ideas, because like there's clearly different ways to do this.
Of the Cad Yellow. Go right back in here. And just lay
So
this
skilled. Oh, I know.
And then begin working outward again.
Was also chatting. That's true. That does make it a bit more difficult for sure. I feel like from here, we can start with the spread some yellow along. Keep it cross. Keeps that middle kind of strong, but doesn't entirely undo anything else. Gives it a slight blended look. Alright, the rest we just got shut out. Ah, that's fair point, fair point.
That way, automatically, it gets darker as it goes farther away.
True
from the
bear.
campfire it's gonna be.
Very skilled bear.
All right. There we go. Now, clean this brush up and we're ready to get serious with this.
Ready to get serious. If this wasn't serious? Alright.
Okay, with a large brush, I'm just going to begin blending this out. Beat the devil out of.
You just went looking through episodes for one that was all blending, didn't you? No layering. We're just going to drop a dollop of color in the middle of a sea of color and just blend for a half hour.
Just very gently, still making the little
Just
crisscross
blended.
strokes. Working outward. You don't want to bring a dirty brush back to the center. Don't want to ruin the beautiful.
His also definitely has more of a red than a brown, but I'm rolling with what I got. I guess we could just take this.
And then very gently, we take the brush strokes out just by
A little bit redder.
across the canvas.
He did use crimson. Yeah, he said that, but it still looked kind of brownish. But now I'm
And
seeing
we're going to try to show you some things today that are a little different than anything we've done in the past.
maybe.
So hope you'll enjoy
That's how
this
it
one. Okay, now let's take the fan brush. We'll put some Van Dyke brown on it. And a little bit of crimson. Van Dyke brown, touch of crimson.
I'm going to end up pausing what he's
Just
doing
mix
because I
them
will
on the
want to
brush.
get to that, but
And maybe we back here in the distance, we can just see the trunks of some trees and just let them sort of disappear.
how does that already look like a perfect tree trunk? How? It's not fair.
It's magic.
Oh, just cheating all around. Alright, now if we go over all of this with a slightly... I wish I could set this brush size like 5 times the size it is now. Just to get some particles over the whole thing, give it a little bit of, hey look, this is somehow coherent. Even though it's not. We all know it's not, but that's fine. Yes, my canvas and his canvas basically look identical
Just
now.
some little trees in the background. Just sort of let them disappear. Maybe right here, maybe there's a bigger one. So we just push a little harder and just let it disappear. Okay, maybe put a little limb out here on him. That's a little arm. And oh, wherever you want them here, you can just put little indications. Just far away.
No, we got some spray here. See, there's some spray.
There,
Sprays are blending. It's the best we got.
like so. Now,
Alright, alright. Well, thankfully we got decent colors for trees. But since we already kind of used that color, we're just going to go darker with it. Want that nice dark tree to pop. I think we use oil brush. Yeah, he wants one chunky tree. We got a chunky tree. Another fairly chunker. We'll go medium chunk for branch. I like kind of having branches on both sides. He kind of tends to go just on the one, which also works. Like, but I like a little more branchiness on my trees, so we're gonna do that. Haven't even gotten to the unique part of the episode yet. Oh no! I'm sure it'll be something that is definitely duplicatable in MS Paint, right? Easily duplicatable, conveniently duplicatable. That looks too... a bit longer on one of them. Looks too much like they're just part of a straight line. Higher up. I'm trying not to do any Control-Z's to get rid of things, but I'll gladly extend a line. Go over it a little bit. That, I feel, is perfectly fine. Alright, that's a collection of trees. I'm okay with that.
put Van Dyke brown and alizarin crimson on the 1-inch brush, loaded full of paint, and we can begin applying some little leaves back here.
Of course.
All we're doing is just touching the canvas, bending the brush a little bit. All we're looking for is just very basic, gentle shapes. Not looking for a lot of detail. These are just little background trees that are far away. So just wherever you think there might...
So same color we were using. Probably spray can, like... maybe a watercolor brush. Some heckin'... it's got some leaves. They don't have to be perfect. It's leafy now. Around the small trees, some leaves, some leaves. I also am seeing that he kind of brought his up a bit higher than mine. So we'll see if we can get it to... Haha! There you go. Leaves reach the top. We can also extend this tree a little more. Give it another decent sized tree. Maybe we can give it another heckin' branch over there. More leaves to come off of. There we go. I feel like it just gives that impression of like droopy trees. I guess this is supposed to be background anyway, so like, whatevers. Kind of just work with what we got. Like the trees. There you go. Thank you. It works. And it's... The spray can works too, but I'm trying to mess around a little bit. This also gets the point across, but gives it a different feel. Alright, alright. Not bad.
Just drop them in.
He also goes a little, like, sometimes a little down further on the trees. Smidge. And here. Get some more.
The glow of the fire here will take care of the bottom of all of these, so don't worry about them.
There you go.
Okay, now we can take and let's add a little bit, then just a tiny bit here. A little yellow ochre, Indian yellow, mixed together. And we can just highlight some of these where the light's striking them from the fire. And just begin picking out little individual things and drop some.
This might need.
Don't overdo.
This might need spray can.
Keep it quite subdued.
We want the yellow, but we want it a little browner. Let's tone a line there. You know what? Nah. We're gonna try not to do as much aerospray. Yeah. I think the aerospray would probably look better, but I'm gonna commit to it. Just some of the 4 branches. Same kind of circular vibe. Now it just looks like the trees are on fire. Not good fire, like mustard fire. I'm gonna say those are far enough in the back that they probably only get a little darker version of the highlights.
The yellow ochre, Indian yellow mixed together. Once again, this is just going to be background trees far away, so we don't have to spend a lot of time worrying about them, trying to make them perfect.
I definitely worry a little bit that I didn't go too deep into the corner and that nothing else is really going to get layered there. But I'm committed to this as it is. If that's the background we got, that's the background we got.
Over here. Not as much. Tiniest little bit. Just some indications. There we go. Now we can have fun. I'm
Now
going
we
to take
can
the
have
large
fun.
brush and very gently, I'm just going to blend all of this in. I want it to be
Yeah, of
very
course you're gonna
soft,
blend all this in.
very far away. So let's go right up here and watch. Very gently. Just still making the little crisscross strokes. Just begin blending all of it.
I'll get right on that.
Just let it blend away. Okay, now we just take the brush strokes out by just going across. See how far away that looks already?
Yes, it looks so distant. Oh, that looks so good on here.
Fantastic.
There's nothing I can do for that right now. There's just not. I can take that and I can aerospray it a bit. Just to kind of bring the highlights together a smidge. But like, there's nothing I can do to capture that. At all. There's just nothing. If it was Photoshop, I could just blur it. It's not Photoshop, so I can't blur it.
Okay. I didn't put any highlights on this one little bush that I laid right here, so let's put a few little highlights on him. Don't want him to get upset because we didn't have any. And then we'll just very gently blend him also.
Yeah, just blend that one too. Mm-hmm.
There. Okay. Now, we can use this big brush and begin adding all kinds of little things.
The second he grabs a bigger brush, I'm just like, how am I even going to do this?
Here, there's some nice little bushes that are growing. And just drop in some basic shapes. We're not too worried about detail yet.
I could take him literally and drop in some basic shapes. Just, here's a square, here's an oval. I'm not going to do that though. The temptation's there, but I'm not going to do that. Put more highlights on the trees? Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Oop. Heck. Well, we're not going to control Z, so we're just going to have to highlight the heck out of that one. Oh yeah, nothing weird happened to this tree. Oh, that actually kind of works a little bit to make the highlights not seem quite as harsh. Alright, hold on a second. We can definitely highlight a bit more. I was worried about it being too harsh, but still don't want it to highlight the whole tree or anything, but maybe like a little, there you go. And then drop a little diffusing over it. Covering that top corner smidge. That looks weird that way. A little deeper into that corner. I definitely worry that like nothing else is going to happen up here. And it's just going to look naked. But if we do this... Get some heckin' highlights up in there. Get some darker accents. And spray over them to kind of bring it all together a little. Alright. Passable.
Just let him.
Yeah, he also said to blend it with your largest brush, and you know, that's also stuff I can't do. So, you know. I wish I could use that better. Crayon might be the way to go for the foreground stuff. Because it kind of leaves that, like, it's just got a little bit of see-throughness to it, gives a little texture. Don't want to look like perfectly spherical or anything. There you go. That's a blob over there. Got some blobs over this side. Your largest brush. This only blend with the grace of a Sharpie, and your largest brush is the size of a crayon. Yeah, exactly. It's perfectly good enough. He's also going way up in the corner. Let's get some heckin' corner stuff. Just some wildness. There you go.
We're gonna be growing over in here.
Ah, dang it. That's not what I wanted to do, but we're not going to control Z this time. Just how it is. We're not going to do it. Now those bushes are connected. It's fine. We'll probably still have to blend this with a arrow spray somewhere.
Shapes to work with. Okay. Now then we can start playing a little bit.
Hold on, not caught up to Bob yet. Give me a second. He just wants some basic shapes we can work with. Those are some basic shapes I feel we can work with. Alright.
Let's take Indian yellow and permanent red and just mix it together. And let's begin dropping some little highlights right up in here.
That's good, I like it.
Just let them sparkle. Think where the light would hit them.
Let them sparkle. Alright. It's gotta be arrow spray though, right? Like the highlights on this is just gotta be. Add the sparkle to them. I feel like it's mostly the edge towards the fire that's going to get it. I also don't want it to look too much like it's just part of the fire, and I feel like that's the risk we're taking. Since we use the same yellow over there, I feel like we're taking the risk of just making it look like it is the fire itself. Let's go with another hit of this to keep it from being too highlighted. Keep some of that texture here, make sure it's still partially looking like a bush, even if just a little. I'm gonna touch this up, but I hope so. If not, blaming you on this one, Robin. Definitely.
And a touch of permanent red. Right there. Okay, maybe right here there's another one. Now, as they get farther away from the fire, less and less you're going to see.
Yeah, he's definitely a little subtler with it than I am.
A little bit of stuff. Don't worry.
He also can be.
It's back in here. Like so. Just sort of let them disappear.
Make it a little less noticeable back here.
It just disappears.
Still highlights, but
Just enough to
not as much back here. He also went a bit lower with his too, so. Especially the stuff closer to the fire. And it covers a bit more. Like that. Oh man, didn't think anybody else knew that song. The Bad Religion. Good stuff. I've done that at karaoke before. It's not my favorite of their songs, but it's still a really good one. I'm biased to tell because Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but You is my favorite of their songs because it was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, so I know it really well. But I've since listened to a bit of Bad Religion. Definitely don't know all their stuff, but good stuff.
There we go. Nice little one lives right there.
He's also definitely going deeper down the canvas than I am, I think. By like a lot, right? No? Okay, maybe not, maybe not.
Let's go right up in here and play with the fire a little bit. I got in trouble for playing in fire.
I always leaned a little more towards the Green Day side, but
today we can do it.
more recently, discovered Bad Religion. And I say recently, but I mean like a decade ago. I was supposed to like listen to Green Day 2 decades ago. Okay, so that'll be the wood for the fire.
Maybe there's some ground area right down through here that we can see. Still Van Dyke brown. And just pull it across.
Just
pull it.
Things that are simple to do with a palette knife and much harder in paint. MS Paint. Okay, then we'll try to... Just kind of want to see the full effect he's going for, though.
Ochre
Alright.
and burnt umber mixed together.
Alright. So we're going to go for that good dark brown again. In fact, we're probably going to darken it a bit more. It doesn't quite blend in exactly with all the other dark brown we had already used. Whoops, too late. We did it. We're rolling with it. And we've got some sticks making a campfire. That's how a campfire looks. Right there. And maybe this one. I feel like the crayon is going to blend in too much with those. Hold on. That's decent. We want bigger swaths. I feel like that is passable. And he kind of went wide with his. I'm assuming more layering is going to happen on this, but I feel like this is still enough of a distinctive brown, especially using a different type of brush, that it still feels like it's different. Which is good. I was really worried it was just going to blend into the brushery. Shrubbery? No, brushery. We're sticking with it. No Control Z's tonight. Not in this one, at least. That's passable.
And we can put a little bit of highlight. And beat the devil out of it.
It's the highlights.
So it gets darker automatically because you're running out of paint. You're picking up more and more of the undercolor.
Yeah, so he went with this slightly yellower. That looks green. A nice size brush to smooth with, if only. I definitely don't want to go green with it. I feel like my current one is just a lot of red. This one I think we gotta do this, because the color itself doesn't look that great, but I think it's gonna look better as the sprayed on accent. A little less as you go, I guess. Still wouldn't call it great, but I'd call it...
Let the canvas work for you.
Paint.
Now, tell you what, let's put a little fire right here. I'm just using a little bit of Cad Yellow. And just touch and just give an indication of a little bit of fire.
Okay.
A little small campfire. There we go.
Alright, I can work with that. I feel like we go with the yellow, but we redden it. Honestly, lighten it a bit. I don't want it to be exactly the yellow as behind it, but it should be at least, because he blended his, so it's slightly different. It's too yellow. Alright, it at least looks fairly distinctive. It may not be the most standout thing, but you can tell it's there. Like that blends a little more into the background, but there you go, there's some fire. Happy enough with it. It's not, I don't think it needs to be the biggest detail, it's fire.
It's enough to convey what we're trying to show here. Now, take the fan brush, and we'll use a little bit of the yellow ochre, Indian yellow, and permanent red all mixed together on the fan brush. And mix them on the brush. And we can begin laying in some little grassy areas here. A little bit brighter up here by the fire. So start at the brightest area and work downward. I want these to be very soft, just where the light's striking them. Get darker, darker, darker. There.
Okay, okay. So you went with something a little...
Thanks.
Like our palette's been bouncing all over the place, but something closer to that, but maybe a little darker.
There.
Don't want it to just all turn into oops all arrow spray, so we're gonna try some other stuff. I feel like this looks a little too much like the highlights, but it's fine. We may still spray over it for a little bit of texture, but this should at least give some difference of feel to it. Different patches of grass, maybe go in different directions. Maybe some slightly smaller grasses as you get a little further away. Probably should have done the other way around, of smaller grasses when it was close, bigger grasses further away. Get that heck in. That's okay. I don't know if that's my favorite, but it's okay. Just trying to get a little more of the thinner vibe to it. Can't play the victory fanfare when we're not done with the art yet, bot. Come on. But the bot approves of this style of grass. I say the bot, but I mean Spotify. Clearly approves of this style of grass. This grass is victory. This is a triumph, and I am making a note here that it's been a huge success. Maybe just a smidge brighter, closer to the fire. The fact that we haven't even gotten to like the gimmick of it yet terrifies me. He's gonna like take it up, balance it on his finger, spin it like a basketball. That was one of the questions we had in it was Trivia Murder Party? No, it wasn't Trivia Murder Party. It was the one with the spinning the wheel, the places they talk about in the song Kokomo. I got most of them. I haven't heard the song in a while, but I've heard it a few times. That was definitely one of the questions we got. Alright, I got some definition going on here.
Okay, there's one that comes way down.
Trying to make it fairly distinct little patches of grass. He's got this full path going. I've got a snippet of a path.
There's a good place for a couple more.
I also should have filled in that bit, but layers! It's fine.
Okay. Now maybe...
I'll pause them again if I have to, which I probably will.
I want to take and add a little bit more.
Yeah, you get paused for a second while I continue to make it so the background doesn't look so jarringly different. This is tall grass, okay? As we get close to the camera, you get the tall grass. Clearly. Slowly roll up. I know you can just twist your, or like flick your wrist and suddenly magic has happened, but I have to, you know, study the whole incantation first before we can just Leviosa. Alright, listening to camp. Basically Wednesday, yeah. We had kind of a camp too, but it was definitely much more low-key. It was more just a local park where they kind of kept an eye on us and gave us like a juice box every day. It's a lot more low-key than like a camp.
And I come right in here.
Going for a really dark
I know what we should do.
shadow foreground.
Maybe this is a little lake out here. Little, you know, if you're going to build a little campfire, you need to have water close by. So,
Of course you gotta have water close by. Get a shadow over that side. Go for the darker brown we got. And let's go using this guy. That almost looks not dark enough compared to the path we got set out. But it still gives it that kind of vertical wall and a path feel to me. Not vertical, but like incline. Yeah, we'll go with that.
So we put a little Cad Yellow on the large brush, go right here, touch, and pull straight down. Okay, just a little, touch, pull straight down. And it's going to pick up the crimson that's underneath and turn a beautiful reddish color. Work from the lightest area, which would be directly under the fire, out. That way, automatically, as you go away from the fire, it gets darker and darker. And very gently come across.
Just pick up the crimson underneath.
Don't want to kill all these nice lines that you put in there. Just make them just look like water.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I mean, if I was working with oil paints, if I was working with the same medium, don't get me wrong, I'm not artistic. But I'd at least be able to attempt to duplicate the same stuff with the same motions. This is like... I gotta think outside the box here. I gotta come up with some way to finagle that. Okay. So we start with just do what he said. Gosh. Get ourselves like a line of the yellow over there. See, I feel like the marker just doesn't quite... We're just going to end up yellow. But we might be able to work with that. No, that's... This looks too yellow. That's fine. We'll get a... Get some of that. Yeah, I forgot to hit OK. I got you. This is the music equivalent of determination. I'm determined. Layer marker with several colors. Not a bad idea. Let's try it. Still gives it a little bit of that yellow underneath. Without it being like, As a small sample, I don't hate it, but it's getting the whole thing to work this way. That's going to be difficult. But as a tiny patch, I don't hate it. A little bit over here, because his kind of followed the coast a little bit. And a little lesser over this side, but maybe a smidge. And let's just commit to basically doing the whole thing in this down here. Take a second, but I feel like it'll be worth it. It's way overcommitting to something I don't need to be overcommitting to, but here we are. Overcommitting to a thing I don't need to be overcommitting to. And if only I could just take my brush and go whoo, whoo, and be done with it. And make it look magically effective. What I'm saying is, if only I was as talented as Bob Ross. But again, the whole point of this, like, all jokes aside, the whole point of this is to try it under the constraints of MS Paint. Like, if I wanted to be more accurate, I could use Photoshop or any number of tools that would almost certainly do it better. But the point is to try to do it with these constraints. But sometimes I forget how constraining it really is. Sometimes I forget that. And we're left with this. I'm actually gonna probably do another layer of the yellow in the middle bit, because I feel like that we kind of painted over it too much. Definitely think this works as an idea. Something a little more towards here. And back over it. But not like all the way. It definitely doesn't quite capture the reflection idea, but it's interesting, and I don't hate it. I wouldn't call it perfect, but you know. Orange makes you think it's floating. Yeah, it does kind of look that way, doesn't it? It's supposed to be background, but nah. Levitating trees. Is that a blood river? It's crimson, clearly. It's bathed in firelight mitts. Come on. Get with the program.
Just add a little bit more of the brown.
Alright, so brown.
Right on out. Drop a little bit of the highlight color on it.
Again, it just makes it look magical. Alright, let's, that was... Oh, we were using the same one for that, right? No, we were using the oil brush for that. Bring it down with the water a little bit. Alright. Just a bit more. Some land in the water. Don't want to cut all those reflections. Looks neat. Thank you. Matches what I saw during Divinity. Yeah, just, well, that was the Red Prince's fault, to be fair. Not exclusively, but exclusively. Oh, get that highlight on there. think we're using like that for the highlight on the ground color. And I'm going to use the spray can just to match the highlights of up there. We'll go over it with the brown again real quick. Just some highlighted bits. That's the wrong color. I can't control V. That's the color. It's fine, everything's fine. Spray can solves every problem, except for the ones that it doesn't. It's all good. There you go. Yeah, I wanted to be less... I just wanted to be less crazy noticeable highlight. Alright.
And we go back to our little fan brush, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, and a touch of permanent red. And we can just drop in some little grassy things that are growing down this hill.
More grass, alright. More divinity now, yeah. Unfortunately, the next few weeks are a little busy. But we can, like... There will definitely be time for it. Like, I'm sure we'll find time. But yeah. Didn't die as much. It's true, it's true. We did... What was it? Was it small markers? For these guys? I want to say it was. It looks similar enough, at least. If not identical, similar. We'll go with that. Less death this time. Mitz, you trying to sneak up on the thing that one-shot you, though. That was pretty great. Let me just jump to the other side of it. It's like, oh, hello there, Red Prince. You are dead now. A little bit of grass, maybe a little bit for this way, for some depth to it. Yeah, because of the coloration choice I had, it definitely looks like the fire has enveloped the countryside, as opposed to giving it a gentle glow.
If you have questions or comments or something we can help you with, please.
It definitely looks like the fire has burninated.
What you want. We'd like to know what you want in future series.
By
What
a
type of
bird.
things interest you.
You know,
A lot of the paintings
birds
in
can
this
be
series are
totally
people
dangerous.
that people have wrote and told us what they wanted to see. Okay, let me clean up a big brush here. And let's play a little bit.
I still can't wait to see what he's going to do that's going to make me go, ramen, you bastard. Besides this being oops all blending the painting.
And beat the devil out of it. Okay, I want to subdue all of this. It's much too bright. So with a large brush, very gently, I'm just going to begin blending it. Very gently. Just let it barely touch. Make it very quiet. Push it way back.
Yeah, let me just get my largest brush and blend all that. Get right on it, Bob.
Very quiet. Subdued.
Alright, so I think the closest we get to any type of blending is just using the heckin' arrow spray, but I'm trying to think what color might blend it better. That might do it. Just kind of fades it a smidge. Don't want to go crazy because we still want it to be visible, obviously, but some amount of just fade it out a bit. Cut the highlights a smidge. It's never going to look the way his does. It's impossible. But we can attempt to just cut the harsh edges a smidge. Guessing flames through the forest. I mean, also cool. That's not exactly a bad painting to have made, so like I ain't mad. Is it exactly what I'm going for? No, but not a bad thing. Oh man, this is the music I think of when I idle in 14, because I'm usually at the FC house. So this is just the music.
Because you know, when you have the little campfire out there at night, things almost look unreal. You get all kinds of weird colors and shapes. Beautiful.
Excuse me.
There we go.
see what he's doing, but I can't really do much more of that. I feel like...
I'm going to take a tiny bit of the yellow and put a little bit of reflection into this little...
Okay, that I can do a bit.
Right here. Pull it straight down.
That we kind of figured out at least how we're doing it. I don't know if it's the right way to do it. We found out the way we're doing it. Better to go with just bigger brush size. A little bit of that, and then a little bit back to here. Yeah, that works.
Just come across.
Also, hey Grim, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Yeah, I was just saying the same thing. Like, since I idle in the FC house a lot, this is the music I think of for like, oh, I've got 14 up in the background.
How quiet that makes that look. It's very, very quiet. Let's go right up in here, and maybe there's a great big tree right here. Right here. Big son of a gun. He just goes all the way off the canvas.
Oh, heck yeah.
And you can make your tree as big or as small as you want him.
3 mounts, not bad at all. Congrats. Did you get one of them? Ah, rip. Still cool.
Just straight Van Dyke brown.
Okay.
There we go. Big strong tree. I love to paint trees. They're one of the most fantastic things in nature to me.
Alright, I don't think that's something we're going to do with just one brush stroke right now. That's definitely something we're going to have to do a little bit of work with. Definitely want it to be a darker tree so it really is noticeable amongst everything else. That's our best way to do this. Fixes Fern Gully vibes. Man, I revisited Fern Gully a few years back. Not very good. Tim Curry is still wonderful. Robin Williams is still wonderful. The actual movie besides them, not good. It's just not. Which is a shame. I liked that movie a lot growing up, but it's not very good. But in that same, and I've definitely mentioned this before, but in that same watch session, I also rewatched Mask of the Phantasm, which still holds up phenomenally, and Rescuers Down Under, which is arguably better than it was when I was a kid. Rescuers Down Under, fantastic, underrated movie. You don't, when people are talking Disney movies, nobody goes, Rescuers Down Under. But you know what? Rescuers Down Under. I've never actually seen the original Rescuers. I've only seen the sequel, and that's fine by me. It's very good. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to try to duplicate that tree with the tools we got. This is probably our best bet, but it's still not going to be... Yeah. Gonna take a little doing to make it as thick as it needs to be. That's not bad. That's not too bad. And I kind of like the little bleeding in on the edges. Kind of like that. Just use your biggest brush. Hush you. How dare you.
Give him a little arm or limb up here.
I've never seen The Secret of Nim, but I have heard good but traumatic things about it.
Now we can take a little bit of permanent red.
I've never actually seen it myself. And keep some of that outline to it without cutting it all away.
And sort of highlight this tree. This permanent red with a little burn umber in it.
You see, I feel like I already got the highlight just because the edge of mine let some stuff bleed through. So I actually feel like we got the highlight okay.
Where you think the light from the fire would strike the tree?
It's probably not a bad idea to do a little, though.
Let your heart take you wherever you want to go. There we are. Maybe a little highlight playing on this limb up here. Okay. Now, maybe.
He's still going, but I'm just doing a little bit of highlight in here. It's not a lot, but just something to highlight it. Wanted to Control Z that, but nope. That's good enough. That's good.
Maybe there's an old fella sitting out here warming his foots next to the fire. Maybe we'll have a cowboy out here. We'll put him a hat on. So we just start right here with a little edge of the knife.
Oh, we're drawing people now.
See part of him. He's leaning up against a tree. There's his the brim of his hat.
Drawing a cowboy out here. Okay.
And at home when you have unlimited time.
Only painting in all 403 with a human.
With this and really go into some detail.
I definitely put it too close to the fire. It's definitely going to look like he's burning himself. Maybe I could have him on the other side of the tree. He's not getting the direct blast from the fire.
Okay, there we go. Maybe he's sort of got his foot sticking up like that. There's his leg. And these are just very basic little things.
Bear was top tier, clearly.
Time and put a lot of detail into these. Just want to give you ideas here.
It's so weird to see like a person.
Better give him
Yeah.
some buns to sit on.
It's a very, very artistic rendering of a bear.
Maybe his hands.
It was a positively fantastic.
See, I should have put him in before I put the highlights on the tree. I've messed my highlights up. But that's easy.
Mess my highlights up.
And drop our highlights right back in. There we are. So the tree stands away from the guy a little bit. And we can take a little bit of the yellow ochre and think where light would strike here. Maybe a little bit on his back.
A grizzly wound in his soul. How am I gonna... I definitely put the tree too close. Unless the tree is massive. So I definitely want him to be a darker color so he stands out a bit. Alright, screw it. We got a bit of hat. Let's go freehand this because it's just how we're going to do it. Bit of hat brim. We'll also probably have to redo that line, but... Yes, I've already come to terms with the fact that your end will be met by you trying to hug a bear in the wild and it not wanting that. I don't envy you that. That it sounds like a very painful way to go, but I've already accepted that that is how things are going to go. I just needed him to have the brush out of the way. A bear hug, yes. Or, way worse, the bear is actually fine with it, because then you'll be emboldened and hug every bear instead of just that one. Alright. Down here he's going to kind of break. I actually need to make him darker. Let's actually just make him kind of almost black. He's really blocking a lot of light. This is the back end of him, away from the fire, so it makes sense. is what I'm going to say. Because screw it. That's how this works. Gotta be able to see the man. Recreate that moment. When in doubt, yes, picnic basket. Definitely got the scale of this guy just wrong. I already know it. Yeah, well, there's like core body. Fill this up a little. That's already the bit. This is the biggest brush size. My goodness. Way to make things easy on me, MS Paint. You really just go out of your way to make sure things are going to be easy. You were sad, but you were also alive. Which is, you know, potentially not what the case would have been otherwise. A little more. That arm that goes down. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Oh yeah, all of my previous art, you know. Perfect. Let's go back to really quick re-highlighting that.
タロには
There you go.
いろんな人の人生が詰まってるんだよ。ごめん、適当言った。
Yeah, the pun ones just go so long. Not too long. I can't say they go too long. But you can always tell when it's one of the joke tartars because it just goes. Alright, alright. I'd argue I highlighted the tree too much, but I feel like that really makes the dude stand out a bit more, so I'm kind of okay with it. Oh, he's gonna highlight him, duh. Back to zooming in.
Across the top of the shoulder. You know, I got to tell a little story here. We have a lot of requests that have came in wanting portraits. And years ago, I studied with a super painter and studied portraits for, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. And he became a very dear friend. And he took me aside one night and he says, Bob, he says, I've got to tell you the truth. He said, I want you to go and paint bushes and trees because that's where your heart is, and give up portraits. So that's why I'm here. There we go. And just maybe a little highlight bouncing across there. A little bit on his knee. That really is a true story, too. He really did tell me I should give up portraits. Takes a special knack. Okay. You know, we talk about that sometime, about talent. What is talent? Talent is nothing more than a pursued interest. In other words, things that you're interested in, you'll spend a lot more time working at than something you're not interested in. So that's all talent is. It's if you're willing to practice, spend the time to perfect something.
Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, it looks better zoomed out. Looks better zoomed out.
Let me clean up the brush a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people who want to paint people, but clearly
There we go.
this mentor could tell it's like,
Soften
it's
all
just
this.
not what you want to do.
Very, very gently.
I'd be shocked if, like, even all the little doodles and whatnot I do here, like, I save all those. Like, I'd be shocked if I could, like, sketched even something small and didn't save it.
Put a little tiny bit of a waterline indication in here. Just a small amount.
Yeah, Spotify's finally got Shadowbringer soundtrack. Finally.
This is really a fun little painting. It should give you a lot of ideas for a lot of crazy things that you can do. And they should make you happy. We really want painting to make you happy. That's what it's all about.
Alright, let me go. Do want to do a little waterline. But I want to be a little more exact with it. We already got some of that yellow. But if we can just kind of follow the contours going on here. And going on here. Then, do with that spray can. Blend it a smidge. We'll get the right color eventually. Most of the little things that you notice zoomed in won't notice them zoomed down. Too zoomed, too zoomed. Okay. Oh man, yeah. Endwalker's gonna be... It's definitely got a bit of a bar to pass.
Okay, I can just quieten this down a little bit over in the corner.
Even if it doesn't beat Shadowbringers, I know it's at least going to be good. Like, there's 0% chance in my mind it won't be good music. Even just all the stuff we've heard already.
Bush here that comes in front of the tree.
Just from trailers and stuff.
And this will produce, every plane that you add into the painting will produce a little bit more depth. Okay, I'll take a little bit of the Indian yellow, permanent.
I feel like we've been working with that. Go with the crayon again. Kind of works. See, I want to go the other direction, but it cut into the dude a bit, but that's okay. We're not going back today. Not in this one. I meant to do that for the first one too, not going back, but I just got caught up in stuff. But I'm pretty sure for the first stream of these I did the same thing where it's like, no undo, only forward.
Red. And we can put some highlights on this.
Highlights, yep.
Push everything back a little further.
Oh, do you know what? Hold on. Let me play one of the tracks they got on the... Because they added some of the... What are they called? The arrangement albums? And they've got one of the tracks that, like, I haven't heard before. It's from this... I think? This? No. One of the piano tracks, and I don't remember which album it is. Give me just a second to find it. In my opinion, it's worth it because I haven't heard it anywhere else. Might be this album, actually. Oh, yeah, it's this one. I've never heard of this arrangement elsewhere. I'm gonna let it go while I do highlights anyway. I've not heard this arrangement anywhere else. They got piano and a vocalist. And I haven't heard this one anywhere. And I tried to look on YouTube and I can't find it, but it's on Spotify. And I like it. it's probably on other things too, but like it's just, it's good. I like the OG a lot, but like, this is good. Cut that harsh head just smidge. There we go. Maybe a little more. Oh, there you go. That muddles it a bit, but it still highlights it. I'm going to turn it down a bit so I can go back to Bob, but I'm going to keep it going. Oh yeah, it was definitely good enough for that.
I think we're about to get this one fixed up. We might put a few little leaves right up here, just to show that this one goes into a nice big tree.
Alright.
Color. Indian yellow.
We were doing an oil brush for those. Dang it.
Now, if you really wanted to have some fun, you could take the liner brush with a little bit of thin color on it and sort of go over some of these little logs here and make them stand out just a little more, because there'd be a lot of light hitting this.
Lay over that top edge, yeah, it is. Give a little bit to it. Kind of like the droopiness of the trees, so we're going to make it a little droopy. And we'll hit it with highlights. I don't want him getting too far ahead of me. I saw what he just did. I don't want him getting too far ahead. Back to spray can. That. Spray can's the best we got for this. It just breaks up those straight lines a bit. It's not great, but it works. Right, Grim? This is only from the Journey's Final Fantasy XIV arrangement album. It might be on other things, but I cannot find it on I can't find it on YouTube. Yeah. I can only find it on... I was just playing the new albums they added, because they posted in the Discord. It's like, oh yeah, they're added. And this one came up, and I was like, oh. Like, they're all good, but this is like... This is good. Sorry, I gotta stretch a little. They added the 3 albums, not the Shadowbringers one, unfortunately, but Base Game, Heaven's Word. Yeah, that's what I DM'd you before. And Stormblood, it's the primal, it's like half primals versions, half piano versions. And that's the only piano version that's got lyrics to it. It might be on iTunes too. I don't use iTunes, so I didn't check. The other one that's really good, I really like this one, while I'm looking for highlights anyway. Crank this one up. Will do. I can actually do that right now. Hold on, let me just make sure that was number 3, right? Yeah, it was number 3. Okay, I got you. Yeah, copy song link. Grim. There you go. Oh, whoops. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, so what was he doing with his little liner brush?
And I think this one's about ready for a signature.
He was just highlighting the logs a little, that's what it was. But like, the light piano, the flute, good. Smidge darker on that, I'll try to split the hairs there. If he can use a fine brush, I can use a fine brush. Zooming is not cheating. Honestly, I feel like the firewood is the one I don't want to spray over. I feel like I want those sharper lines there. Oh man. I can't believe you still remember the number. Alright, so it looks like he's signing this one. Should I actually freehand it, or should I do my same signature as last time? Do it? I'm not. No, I asked, but I know what I'm doing. We got priorities, yeah. There you go. Perfect. That is the perfect signature. Perfection. Barely visible, bottom corner, basically the same color as its surroundings, Comic Sans. I definitely didn't capture the same vibe he did, but I don't hate it. Mine definitely looks much more like guy fell asleep at the fire and the entire countryside is burning down because of it. But I don't hate it.
Next week,
I feel like it's a different vibe, but it's not a bad vibe per se. Unless you live in that countryside.
so have your canvas set up. We'll be doing a white canvas.
So the key issue we have now is we definitely don't have time for another one of